with most fantasy stories, most role-playing games that take place in a fantasy world, if I'm gonna do this right, I have to start in a tavern. We begin our game in a tavern called The Common Passion, where a bartender by the name of Hammond is having a conversation with a Khorek who is Khorek.
Khorek comes into the tavern very tall, very broad, but not necessarily like super muscular, but does have like a big head of curly hair, like kind of sprays out, making them very much larger than life. Khorek is also very odd in that they have some very fine robes on. You can see a gambeson under their robes, but it's very like fine blue silk, and lots of jewels, like lots of piercings around the ears, rings, bracelets, and a few dangling necklaces, and even some brooches on the sides of the chest. These are all gems that they have found on their own and polished and worked to make worthy to be worn by them.
We're actually going to start this halfway through the conversation.
Okay.
The most important part of the conversation, in which Hammond says, you know, I've watched you grow from when you were about a wee kindling into the glorious fire that you are today. And here you sit, asking me about a reckoner, because you want to bring another Khorek into this world.
I know. It's crazy, isn't it?
Who is the lucky smith?
Pim'wei. Khorek.
You've said that name before, and I forget it every time.
I know. I'm very happy with Pim'wei.
I'll remember it now. So Pim is going to be your partner in this, and you're all looking for a reckoner, but you said, why don't you use the reckoner that's been working with your family for generations?
Azarel is fine, I'm sure, but I think it's time for someone new. I think it's time for a change.
I agree, because this kindling is going to be nobility.
Yeah.
Future leader of our village. Yeah?
Yeah.
And I think we've gotten complacent. I think we've gotten stagnant. I think we do need a change.
You're exactly right. And I know nobody believes me, but if the rotting carrot has shown up, we need to be ready, and we can't just stick with the old ways anymore.
Well, I don't know about any rotting carrot. You've told that story, and it's a little strange, but the Mushin are coming over the mountains to the north. We've had scouts coming across them. We need leadership.
They get to be more, and we stay the same. It's not enough.
I have an answer for you, and it is unconventional.
Okay.
There's a reckoner southwest of town by the name of Loy.
Loy.
Now, they used to work with a great reckoner named Kesda. But Loy, they are unconventional. As I said, they've become a bit of a recluse. But they had some very radical ideas, so I've been told, in regards to reckoning a new kindling.
Have they done it before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel it out, and if it doesn't make sense, come back and use the same old. Do something safe.
All right. Yeah, I'll go talk to Loy. Southwest of town. Got it. Thanks, Hammond.
No problem. Khorek and Pim decide to go southwest of town, and they make their way across a bridge and find themselves along the River of Umbra. Here close to town on the river are fishermen. They have little tiny huts made of stone because they stay here for several burns, putting nets in the river trying to collect whatever might come by, and then they return to the village to try and sell it. One of these fishermen is speaking to Pim, who is asking for directions for the strange reckoner that lives outside of town. You say you're looking for a Khorek that lives around these parts?
Yes, I'm told they haven't been seen in a long time, but I'm hoping that someone has...
Well, I mean, you can't be talking about old Loy, are you?
That's it. That's the name we were told. Loy, yes. You know of them?
What do you have business with old Loy for?
Well, we're in the need of a reckoner, and they are supposed to be a reckoner that of great skill that can bring a new kindling into the world that our village needs.
Well, who told you something like that?
Well, Khorek knows someone, and apparently they knew of Loy. They spoke highly, and we're on a journey to find them.
No offense, fella, but you might want to watch who you're speaking to about things if they hang out with Loy. Well, I don't think I've ever seen Loy with another Khorek. They keep to themselves. I don't even think I've heard them say a single word.
So, you just see Loy out by themselves, not interacting with anyone?
Huh?
How did you even know their name?
Well, everybody knows about old Loy. Stories. Strange stories.
What stories have you heard?
Well, I heard they had a falling out with a reckoner that was their mentor.
What's so strange about that?
Had some peculiar ideas about how to reckon a new kindling.
Oh?
Yeah.
I've never made a kindling before. How could they do it so differently?
Well, I can tell that.
What? You can sense I still have all my mineralis, huh?
Oh, yeah. Young and vigorous. Got too much spry in your step.
So you think I should be wary of this Loy?
I wouldn't even bother going.
I turn around. Is Khorek nearby?
I'm jabbing it up with some of the other fishermen.
I'll just turn to them and say, are you sure Loy is the one we should go to?
I mean, of course, we should talk to them, like, make sure they're not crazy, but yeah. I mean, I haven't heard many other options as far as reckoners go.
The way that they're speaking, I don't even know if they'll even meet with us. They haven't even spoken.
Well, I guess we'll try and find out. Well, did they say where they are?
Yes. Sorry. How can we best get there?
Well, if you're set on it, there's a cave south of here. I believe they live out that way. You're not too far.
So they're brave. Can make it on their own. All right. I like this. All right.
Hey, before I let you go, fella, I noticed, is that an eel on that medallion there?
Yes, it was my siblings.
I bet it brings luck, and I could use some luck. I'll buy it off you. They got me fishing on this side of the river, on the south side. I used to be a big deal fishing on the north side of the river, but they shouldered me out, jealous of my productivity.
My good fellow, Pim here isn't interested. They lost their sibling, and we need something to remember them by.
There's no price that I'd be willing to part with it for.
Have it your way. And the two continue the slow walk south. Before they reach that destination, we see Loy standing in their shrine. Tara, could you describe Loy and the shrine that they live in?
If I'm standing in front of the shrine, the wall in front of me is made out of solidified lava, magma, that has formed into these amorphous shapes, and they flicker in the candlelight because there's shelves that I've installed along the wall, and there are candles that are burning, and they've left lumps of candle wax all over. And on these shelves there are also little stone statues of tiny Khorek, various sizes. They're not all very small. Some of them are larger, some of them are smaller, and they all have little faces, and they're made of different stones, and they're all matched together. And on the wall there's a source of natural water that trickles down it and goes away underneath the cracks to some tunnel wherever this used to go. And I am standing in front of it, and I have another statue that I've just finished carving. I myself am covered in little stones. I have a helmet, and it is covered, it's got stone chains, they're all threaded through. It's covered. And I have a male shirt, but it is stones, made of threaded stones all around. And I'm built up to look really huge. I'll actually say I don't have my helmet on right now because I've got a big beard It's white. I'm old. I'm very old. My skin is like deeply cracked and like lined with age, and I have no eyebrows. Those like really bright blue White Walker eyes, like really piercing, and no hair. My head is totally shaved, but you can see like dark gray veins underneath the skin that is very, very pale. But I keep my helmet on as much as possible, and it obscures a lot of my face, my beard, and I'm getting ready to go out for my daily journeys to find the spiral.
As you are observing this shrine, putting things right, looking at the different stones and everything that you have on the wall, you hear a vibration.
That's when I put my helmet on, and I like turn around to look at the entrance of my cave, and I listen even closer.
And now you start to hear a crack.
From where?
Right in front of you.
The wall?
Yes.
My shrine? I put my hands on it.
The water that is trickling down the wall is clearly coming down faster.
No.
Your hands are now covered in water, and it's just a sheet.
I pull away quickly. My candles are being splashed. They're probably going out.
Extinguished.
I am gonna grab, there is the largest statue. I grab it right away. That one goes right up against my chest and under my stone armor. And I'm gonna try to grab as many of the other little ones as I can. And I just back away from the wall, and I'm waiting to see what happens.
As you back away, a gush of water splits through the top, the ceiling where the ceiling meets the wall. And a gush of water just sprays down at your feet. And from that water, a form starts to rise.
I've fallen back on the ground, and I only have the one largest statue still clutched to me. But I'm what is it? I don't know. I'm just waiting to find out. What is it?
Its body is shaped, the bottom of the body is like a spiraled drain of water, like a tail almost. And it has a shape of arms and a torso and a head, and it's all formless, but an outline of something that resembles Khorek, but is very much not. What would you like to do?
Who are you? 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 Who are you?
And it goes to bring its fists down on top of you.
It's made of water? Whoa.
It is. What's your AC?
My AC is 11. Can I telekinesis water?
Can you telekinesis water? Probably not.
Okay. I gotta run.
Not before it hits you. 4 or 5 damage.
Ow. I gotta go. I'm running. I have to go.
You take off out of the cave. And Khorek and Pim, you see the cave, and you see this figure covered in water, sopping wet, chased out.
What goes on here? Are you all right?
Run. You gotta run. You gotta run.
Run from what? I draw my sword.
I don't know what it is. It's a spiral. The spirals. Who are you? Who are you?
I'm Khorek Dohar. This is Pim'wei.
And that's when this water figure emerges from the mouth of the cave.
Run.
Can we tell it's water?
Yeah. In fact, you've fought one of these. It's a water elemental.
Oh. Okay. And when I fought these, what's the best way of dealing with these? Run or...
Do you have anything to smash it with?
Smash it?
Yeah.
I've got my pickaxe and my sword.
Maybe.
Okay.
What do you want to do?
I've got my sword out. Yeah, I'm going to run up to it.
All right, let's do a charisma roll.
All right.
Let's see whose side goes first.
13.
All right, you got it. What would you like to do?
I'm going to run up and swipe at it.
Okay.
18 plus 2, that's my strength. So
Yes.
dirty 20.
All right. You got it.
All
Do
right.
damage.
6 on a d6.
Nice. So you bring this pickaxe, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is your weapon of choice?
It's my sword. I
Sword.
have a pickaxe, but yeah, so I can take it out and I can fight with both, but one-handed sword
Okay.
is what I drew out
You
first.
go with the sword, and the sword splits its water in half, and it slowly starts to form back together.
That's what I figured. That's what I figured would happen.
Gotta run.
You all should run. I'll hold it off. Don't worry, I've got this.
Khorek, you know I'm not leaving you behind. I take out my binding bowl, and I start playing it, trying to bind the water elemental to the spot that it's standing in.
Okay. And I need to make a kind of save for that.
Intelligence save.
Intelligence save, okay.
Oh, an intelligence grade.
Uh-huh.
I failed.
Khorek, run.
So you play this bowl, and it creates this tune, and you see the water freeze into its space. It's still rippling, but it no longer... It's almost like it's trapped in a glass box.
Have I ever seen something like this before, or...
Yeah, with Khorek.
And did we run away or did we smash it?
You tell me.
We did a lot of running away in our
We
times
did do
together.
a lot of running away together.
Then you ran away.
I'll turn to Loy and say, "Are you okay?
No, we need to run.
Where did this thing come from?"
My home.
Oh. I'm backing up, staying in between them and the water elemental, but just going back the way we came.
I'm playing it constantly as I keep backing away.
My home. My home. My
Let's quicken the pace and we'll figure out what to do. Come on.
Where are we going? Where are we going, though?
We don't know this area. You do. Where should we go?
This way. It's drier over here.
You all run away and make it over a ridge and tuck back, hoping that you've lost it. You sit for a moment after a couple breaths.
What happened to you?
I was attacked by a water elemental, apparently. Are you asking me? They took my home, the whole thing. It's all covered in... It's all gone. It's all gone.
It just appeared within your home and destroyed it?
It loomed over me with such menace. I don't know how to tell you what happened. It just came right up out of the water. The water was rushing. It was rushing and steaming, and it was covering everything. All the fire is out. All the fire went out. The fire went out, and my hands were so cold.
I take their hands. Hands don't get cold when we're together. Okay? Everything's fine.
I start making a fire.
And then I take their hands and I make them in a prayer position, but horizontal, and rubbing them between mine. Are you Loy? All right. Nice to meet you, Loy. I'm Khorek. This is Pim. We came to see you. I'm very sorry about what happened to your home. We probably should get back to town and warn them and have somebody come and take a look at your home and maybe help. Rebuild?
They wouldn't help me.
Why not?
Nobody helps me.
Why not?
They all think they're different. They think they're better than me.
I don't.
Your hands are warm.
I was referred to you because I was told that you're a good reckoner, and we're looking for one.
Khorek, this might not be the time.
Might be the perfect time. That's up to Loy. And I just keep, my eyes right on Loy.
Who sent you?
Hammond, from the Common Passion.
Hammond. Well, that's a beautiful memory that you've given to me. I'm so grateful. Wow. You want me to help you?
Yes, we are ready to mix our mineralis.
We want nothing more than to make a kindling, and we would be honored if you help us.
I take Pim's hand.
And it dawns on you, Loy, that all your equipment needed to reckon is in your home.
I will help you, but it will be dangerous. It is going to be dangerous. We have to go back. It's going to be so wet So wet and so cold, all of the fire has gone out of my home.
Okay, so we need to go back to your home.
Yes.
And we need to get the fire going. We need to get rid of the water and the water elemental if it's still there.
You speak so practically, it's going to be terrible. And wet and cold. But you are warm, and I believe you.
Yes, trust me.
I believe it's time to stop running. I think we need to face this.
Aw, Pim, you always know what to say.
Practical question. If we are made of elements, if we're made of rock and minerals, can I just pick the fire up with me and carry the warmth along with us?
No.
So it would burn me.
Yes.
It would. Okay.
It's hard to explain what flesh is to Khorek, but it is flesh.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
If you put the fire out, I will stand on the coals for a little while before we leave. That will make me feel better. You start to put it out and I shuffle in and I put my feet in the coals, I shuffle them under the ashes a little bit and I go...
You really like to be warm, don't you?
Don't you?
I think you seem to feel it more than me, though.
It aches. Never goes all the way away. It's cold. The water is cold.
So the question is, are we heading back? And do you all have a plan for how you want to deal with this?
I think we need something big.
Like a boulder? What are you thinking?
A boulder? If we could roll it on it?
I was able to hold it. Maybe I continue using the binding bowl while you both attack it from afar.
That's a good idea. Loy, have you got anything that you could throw at it?
And my shirt, my stone shirt rustles as I pull out my bare, beefy arms.
Oh, that's right. You are beefy, aren't you?
I am.
Just all cans. Love it.
Feeling.
How many item slots do those guns take?
Yeah.
Wow.
This frail face and these creaky old legs. And then they just pull out these just jacked Arnold arms.
Literally.
So when did you pull something out besides your arms, or are you just like these mitts?
No, I literally flexed I don't care. I'm not,
There's no weapon.
No, I don't have a weapon. I guess when I pull my arm, you can see in the crook of my one arm, I don't pull one of them all the way out. But you can see probably the statue, the Khorek statue that I have under my arm with me.
Yeah.
You could see that.
Well, we'll pick up some rocks as we go.
All right. So we start heading back, and as soon as I can see where we last saw the water elemental, I'm obviously looking out for it and ready to play the bowl again.
You're coming over a ridge, and when you look down, you can see the cave entrance, and then you can see that there are puddles of water around. You don't see anything moving, but you can see the traces of the elemental having been here maybe 30 minutes ago.
I walk up confidently to the water, seeing if it starts to gather or anything into an elemental, kind of getting in the space of where it was.
It's just water.
Okay. Does it go off anywhere?
It looks like it trails, this is the furthest out. And it's trailed back off into the cave.
All right. I kind of point at the cave, nod to the two behind me, and I get out my hand drum in my left hand and put a rock in my sling and start approaching the cave.
I turn to Loy and say, "Quick, gather what you need. It may have gone away."
I will run. Yeah, I will go as quick as I can. You can see that I move a little stiffly. I'm going as fast as I can.
So is the plan to try and gather things and leave?
Mm-hmm. To gather what Loy needs.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And leave.
Okay.
And if we do come upon the water elemental, then we're gonna stun it with the
Loy,
bowl.
how long has it been since you've used your reckoning tools?
I've lost count. I don't even know how many burns
Long time.
it's been. Yeah.
Where are they stored?
They are in the shrine.
Who leads you into the shrine? Do you go ahead of Khorek to get back into the shrine?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I follow them.
The water has slowed down.
To its normal pace or still faster than normal?
It's normal.
I look over at Khorek and I poke them to see if they're real. You're real, right? You saw it.
The elemental, yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it's gone. Just felt like terrorizing you, I guess.
Oh, why? Why would it do that, though?
Why does anything do anything?
And I will, shuffle forward and, at the back of one of the shelves, kind of behind a couple of large candle wax lumps, there's a wooden box. It's kind of ish.
For those of you listening, Tara picked up a dice tray. And we're back.
It's a wooden, it's like a little pencil box almost, maybe a little bit longer than that, but not any deeper. And it's made out of stone, I would say. Let's see. The other big thing that I just need to make sure that I grab from here is there's a bag of charcoal that will be in the back corner further away from where the water was.
So you do one of those steps of got the reckoning tools and you go, oh, the charcoal. And when you turn around, the water elemental is behind you. It rises from the floor.
Pam!
Khorek, let's do that charisma off.
Oh.
Oh,
10.
I did better this time. I got a 15.
I did way worse. 10. Yep, it's your turn.
This one's for Loy.
Not again.
I got a 15.
Oh my god. Ow. Stop hitting me. You're gonna
For
have to find
2
a new
damage?
reckoner. All right. Okay.
Loy, are you using your special item?
Yeah, I will try this time and see what happens.
You all can go in any order you want.
Will it just hit me?
Yeah, I'm already done.
That's my. Oh yeah, but so it's a when I get hit, when I take damage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm wearing a locket. It's like a rock, it looks like a rough rock, but it has flecks of gold inside of it, looking thing, and it flashes, and it deals 1d4 damage in retaliation.
Yes.
I rolled a
It
2.
literally sparks flames. And it sears the water and steam emits.
Yeah.
And that it looks like that was not pleasant for the water elemental at all. So that was just a reaction. That was just the magic item being able to do that. Who would like to go first?
Well, I think I was ready with playing.
All right.
Playing
so you
bowl
start that.
again,
So I need to make a intelligence.
Intelligence save.
Uh-oh. I rolled very high.
I don't even know what you're trying to beat, honestly.
Your
How
intelligence
do I calculate
score.
that?
So 10 plus your intelligence.
Oh, I was like, if it's just my intelligence score, that's not hard to beat.
No.
Yeah, so it'd be 12 then. Yeah.
All right. So I got a 21. I rolled like a 19.
Yeah. So I assume that's all I can do.
You start doing it this time, and it's shakes its head.
Yeah. Not this time.
I can't activate my hand drum and attack at the same time, can I? Or can I?
Correct.
Okay. I am going to throw the rock in my hand. Oh,
you
that
have
was
a sling.
I have a sling. Yep. But that's a 5 to hit, so I don't think that hits.
Oh, it's not going. It's not a good start.
It just knocks one of the candles over, and I'm like, dang it.
Yeah. Splooshes in the against the wall in the back, and Loy, your guardians are struggling.
I turn to Khorek and say, "This is why we always run."
I am going to lean forward towards that bag of charcoal that I was trying to grab to bring for reasons, and I'm gonna try to whap it with it.
Oh, you're gonna grab that bag and then just
whap it with my bag of charcoal.
All right,
Nice.
Roll for it. That's a great weapon.
I add my strength, right? That's a 19.
Mm-hmm.
Shit. Yeah. Do some damage.
Yeah, damage. How much damage does a bag of charcoal do? Just a d6?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like a sling does a d4, so I feel like it should be about a d6. Something more.
3. I rolled a 3.
What did you say your roll was total?
So I rolled a 16 on the die and I have a strength score of 3, so I rolled a 19.
19. Okay.
Yeah.
Keep in mind that if you roll 21 or higher, you get like a free maneuver.
Oh.
And do a little extra juice on it. All right, so you're going to swing this bag of charcoal, which is just as good a weapon as any other bludgeoning device. You whip it around. Hit this thing for 6.
I rolled a 3 on the d6.
Nice. Okay. You hit it and just like water sprays, and it looks physically smaller than it was a moment ago. But it is the elemental's turn. I rolled a natural 20
On.
on Loy
Yeah.
because you were using a sling and hitting it from afar, and Pim's in the back.
Loy.
5 damage.
Oh.
Can't have one of my items yet.
So for those listening, we're playing Knave, and part of Knave, we might be getting into this today. Part of Knave is that you have a hit point number, just like you would in, say, Dungeons and Dragons or Mothership, which we've played before, or almost any role-playing game has a hit point component. Once I bring them below their hit point maximum, whatever that number is, I start eating into their item slots. And I believe my players have somewhere between 11 and 14 item slots, somewhere around there.
12 is my max.
12? I think there's
12, yeah.
12. What do you got, Gail?
15.
15.
Whoa. Must be nice.
And every time I take away item slots, they drop that item. And so their most important items will be at the top of their list. So things like armor and weapons will be at the top, and things like bed rolls, right, David? Bed rolls will be near the bottom, I think, and they'll drop those items, and they'll become wounds. We might be getting to see wounds today as this creature takes this blast in a fury, maybe a last gasp fury, attacks Loy, and you feel the water cooling your body, and your joints start to feel stiff, particularly in your legs where you've had the most damage in the past.
I can't make this noise, but you all hear the sound of like Loy's teeth grinding really hard amidst all of this. Yeah. I don't scream, but it sounds like terrible.
Yeah. It's your all's turn.
So again, do we just go in whatever order we want, or do we go in the same order we went last
Gail,
time?
why don't you decide since you have the leadership role?
I'm going to because Loy is being attacked, I feel like Loy should be able to react
Swing back.
first.
Yeah.
And then me and then Pim.
Okay.
Yeah.
Loy, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna swing with vigor, as much vigor as I can muster in
Let's
my
get it.
cooled state.
I believe you.
Does a 15 hit?
Yep.
I only did 2 damage that time.
That's okay. 2 is 2.
It was 2.
It's not like they have... The best thing about this game is they don't have tons of hit points. Or most things don't. Unless you're fighting like a dragon or something. And we're not doing that till like episode 11. Just kidding.
Foreshadowing.
Just spoiling, really. Can you imagine if movies foreshadowed that way? Like,
If they were just like, yeah, what if we have to fight a dragon?
It's gonna be a dragon.
And an hour and 37 minutes in, there's going to be a dragon. So wait
it's
away
like
for that,
in the
kids.
very first Harry Potter movie, if they were just like, Voldemort could probably come back because you're a fucking Horcrux, Harry.
I've always noticed that movie trailers do a ton of foreshadowing. It's just really...
Movie trailers. Nothing but foreshadowing. Yeah, they foreshadow the beginning, the middle, and the end. Loy, you swing back, and it's almost like fight or flight, right? Like it's that kind of like, if this is my last stand, I'm not... These people want a child.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And so maybe you're willing to stand and trade with this thing. Khorek, you're seeing the ferocity of this elderly, would that be fair?
Oh, very. Yes.
Elderly Khorek who has the tools necessary to reckon you and Pim and potentially help you all mold a new Khorek, a child of your own. And you're witnessing them go from the fearful, scared Khorek that was running out of this cave to the one that is honestly the one doing the damage. Maybe the only damage.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm wrong.
No, we've been useless.
Yeah.
Khorek, what would you like to do?
I do what I always do and say, "Get it, Loy." And I want to, I want to,
I'm going to do what I do every single time and say, "Get it, Loy."
Just be
Get it.
like, yeah, you do it.
go get it. Yeah. Yeah. That's awesome. Good job.
Rah-rah.
This is how
very
you guys have
encouraging.
survived.
This is
this
why
long.
I'm such a good leader, is I'm very encouraging.
Yeah.
Right on. Right on.
And is it wrapped up in Loy, did you say, or no? It's just
No.
sparring.
It
Okay.
is tangling with Loy. I mean, it's
Okay.
Spraying all over me.
I want to, I don't know if I can do this. I want to parkour. Basically get up on something and jump
shelf?
and body slam on
You're just
the
gonna
elemental.
do like a flying cross body,
Yes.
Jey Uso style,
Yes.
main event Khorek.
Yeet. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeet. Oh,
I mean, if Loy is doing this, I've got to show up, man.
hell yeah. So you're just like Macho Man elbow drop off the top of the shelf.
Loy is fighting. I have got to meet Loy's energy, man. Like Loy is bringing it. I got to bring it back.
Yes.
That's the balance.
You know what? I think by doing that, like, because there's this entanglement and you were trying to find a height and jump onto it, I'm going to give you +2. to your
Plus 2.
roll.
Please work. I don't want another 3 like I rolled last time. Come on. Okay, that was a little better. It's a 9 total.
With all that,
I know.
this is how heroes are made.
Oh, I've got it. So the water, like we said, there's a lot of water. It's all very wet. So because I want to say, like you said, that there's some like rock formations that
And
maybe even could,
shelves that I put on.
yeah, like I think that it's kind of like I thought like, oh, like some of these I could just step up on. But as I like ran up to do it, it's too slippery and I just vomp on my side.
You just like you're on the shelf now. Your feet slide out from under you. Water and Khorek is like it's a fickle mistress. It's tough to get a read on it, and so you just play out and roll off.
Yeah.
This went so good. This is how we start a season. Hopefully, you all get better.
Ugh, fingers crossed.
Pim, it's up to you.
No, well,
You're not even really sure what Khorek was doing. They just kind of
Just spazzed out.
they went wild. They were wilding out, and you don't know what happened.
yeah, right.
Maybe
Yeah,
maybe
and
you
I'm
know
like-
when they get that overzealous look on their face, and you're like, oh, they're gonna try some shit, and it didn't pay off.
No, I have this moment where I'm just like, Khorek and I were meant to stay home. This is a bad start. But I take out my triple flail because, why shouldn't I have just resorted to this in the first place?
When has this been here? You have a triple.
I mean,
what is a triple
I have a
flail?
triple flail. It's like a staff that has like 3 different like little mini like ball and chains on it. It's a triple flail.
Scary. Yeah.
David,
Yeah.
I love how you just explain what a flail is.
Yeah, but it's a triple flail. It was in the book. Was I the only one that read the book?
You perused it.
I did, But then I saw triple flail. I was like, yeah. I could just bring a hammer, but like triple flail.
Did you roll triple flail?
No.
You picked it out. You're like, that's the one.
I picked it out. Yeah, there was like 100 different things, and there was a lot of things I hadn't heard of. So I just Google image searched a lot of different things until I was like, Pim's rocking a triple flail.
Of the 100 things, I wonder how many of them are just swords, but a different name.
Most of them.
Right?
Like
I don't know.
There's a
But
lot
there,
of them.
you know,
Yeah.
sword enthusiast is going to come into the chat here, and they're going to be like, "But Jay,
But Zweihander is actually...
honestly,
Right.
it's weighted."
No, and I looked at a
differently.
lot of those, but then I was like, I can't really rationalize why this guy's holding one of those things.
Right, but
and
you could
what
rationalize a
thing-
triple flail.
Yeah, I can. You want me to?
No, it's done.
Okay.
We're here now.
It's done. It's a triple flail.
So this seemingly meek character that's been like, I don't know, pulls out a triple flail, and it's just
Yeah.
like, I got to do something.
The bowl didn't work. Time to go to the triple flail.
Your partner just made a fool of themselves. It's on.
Yeah.
Love of your
Time to
life.
put an end to this.
Time to
Yeah.
call it.
Yeah.
Please roll good.
Oh,
After all this setup, let's get
Come
it.
on.
gotta make a baby. Let's do this. All right.
And this is how we do it with a triple flail.
No, David, no.
Tell me it's broken.
No, it's a 2, so one better than broken. But I triple flail my foot a little bit to really show how much I should have stayed home.
So Khorek tries to jump up there, and you see this elemental realize that it's about to get flanked, and it ducks and does like a go behind on Loy to avoid whatever it is Khorek's doing, and Khorek splays out. You see that as a chance to break out the triple flail, and you go to swing, and it ducks down and goes behind you. And it's my turn. What's your AC? I rolled 7. I know you have better than 7.
I do. A 12.
It goes to attack you. You've already seen it do this move before. You know it's coming. You've got reflexes because you're not. I mean, you may say you run, but defensively minded. You know what's coming, and you're gonna miss this. And it swings, and it's moving a little slower than it did before. It seems slightly less intimidating at this moment. Really, the fear is how inept you all are at combating it. This is the danger that's developing.
I resent that.
Sorry. I'm just talking to Khorek and Pim.
Yeah.
Loy's shouldering it. So we have a new round. I tried to attack and I missed. This combat's going so good. I'm going to say that if it's all right with you all, Pim, you should probably react first because you're in direct melee with this thing.
I'm almost shaking from nerves a little bit, and knowing that I'm just feeling worthless in this situation. I just give myself a little pep talk and say, "You can do this." And I take the triple flail, and I smash it again.
One more.
Dirty 20.
Oh,
Yeah.
There we go.
there we go.
Yeah.
Give me some flail damage.
That's the maximum of 6 flail damage.
Wow, flail damage.
You bring down the triple flail. How does that even look in the air when it's coming down?
It's like 3 little ball and chains like bouncing against each other, and then all of a sudden they all converge and smash onto the same spot.
And it explodes into rain. And Khorek is breathing heavy. Loy is weak. And Pim, you put everything you had into that shot. You all wait. The beat. A moment. And nothing. Hello, dear listener. It's your old pal Jay interrupting the story for just a brief moment to tell you about how you can support the show so we can reach more listeners like yourself. There are 2 ways to do this. One is word of mouth. You could review our show on whatever platform you're listening on, and that platform will then push us out to new listeners. It's awesome. Or you can just straight up tell people about our show, whether that's in a community forum like on Reddit or Discord, or literally just going up to a human being while you're checking out groceries and asking them if they need a new podcast to listen to. I hear people love that. Besides word of mouth, you can also go to patreon.com/getoutofdepth and become a paid supporter of my creative endeavors. Paid supporters get a cool behind-the-scenes look at how we make the show. They get access to secret character questionnaires for my players, raw video recordings of every episode that we've made, and a special post-mortem episode featuring myself and the cast when the season is over. But don't worry, if you're not in a position to support us financially, you can still go to patreon.com/getoutofdepth and subscribe for free. You'll be able to keep up to date on everything I'm working on. I'm very thankful for my audience listening to me goof around with my friends, and I hope to continue making cool stuff for you to enjoy with your friends. And you can learn all about it at patreon.com/getoutofdepth. Okay, all right, enough of that. Let's get back to the show and see what fate has in store for these 3 heroes. Khorek, Pim, Loy, you're all standing around the shrine in the room. The water is... There's like a little bit more water coming out of the center where that hole formed, but it's nothing that bad. And you feel like a sense of peace. Like everything's returning to normal, maybe.
I grab Pim around the shoulders and say, I knew you could do it.
Tara, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
We didn't really talk about this much, but do you have in your mind an idea of how you would reckon these people?
Yeah.
Dear listener, a reckoner is an individual whose job it is to look at the mineralis, to look at the makeup of 2 different Khorek to determine whether or not if combining these elements together would produce a healthy, viable Khorek. Reckoners are very important to their society because a good reckoner, according to legend, according to myth, according to lore, can help lead a village to prosperity by helping that village produce better, stronger Khorek. Loy has been living on the outskirts of the village by themselves for a very long time, so long that they may not remember how long it's been. And the last time they used these tools was a time they may not want to remember. But they're opening the case today. They're making an exception for these 2 Khorek who have helped them defend their home. Tara, how does Loy reckon these Khorek?
I do have to say that before we can do this, I would need to clean up the splashes of water. I would need to relight the candles that are on the shrine wall. Like, it all needs to be the way that it was. And I need them both to lay down on the floor, I suppose. I've never reckoned in this home before. Before it would have been like slabs or beds or whatever that you laid next to each other on in a way that, so the mineralis is under your left rib. And so you would need to lay so that they're close to each other, so that they're like touching. So you're side by side and your mineralis are like very close. And in my little box, which I lift open the lid for, there are 14 pins. Think like acupuncture style pins, but like slightly more hefty. And at the top, at the head of each of these pins, there's a face carved out of stone. There are 7 different fellows that the Khorek are aware of. There are a set of each of them. So there are 7 for each of you. And I put those in the area of your mineralis on each side. And then think like a cord cutting sort of ceremony, but not quite. It's like a similar sort of thing where like I then wrap a twine between the pins. And there's one for each of the fellows. And then I sprinkle this like incense powder, this like spark powder over it, and it like rests a little on the flat tops of the heads. And I strike a flint over it. So what is intended to happen is that the incense will catch where it is meant to, on whatever side it is meant to, will eventually catch the flames, like the cords, and then they will burn. And the way that they burn between the two of you shows me how they're communicating to each other, your 2 mineralis. And meanwhile, I need it to be utterly silent. And I just like perch over you and I listen. And it's like, that's all you can see, but it's very intense for me internally. Maybe. I haven't done this in a while.
Khorek and Pim, you lay still on these slabs, and Loy starts to gently insert these pins under your left rib cage. There are 7, each one carved with the face, the fellows, the 7 gods that are worshipped by all Khorek. And Loy wraps the thread across from Saenai's pin in Khorek to Saenai's pin on Pim'wei, and from Haenai's pin on Khorek to Haenai's pin on Pim'wei. Khorek and Pim, you see this powder come out, this dust. They sprinkle it on the heads of these pins. What does it smell like, Loy?
It smells like sulfur a little, and like ash.
And that's when the flint comes out. At this moment that this flint comes out, Pim'wei, you're familiar with flints. You know that a spark is about to happen, and this is a process that you've never experienced before. What's going through your mind?
This is all, in a way, a bit sudden. Like, I was approaching Loy and not even knowing if they would do this for us, and all of a sudden, this thing that I've been wanting, this thing that I've been dreaming of, this bonding permanently between me and Khorek is happening. So I'm feeling a piece of that, but there's this thing in my head wondering about what coincidence it was that this elemental attacked her right now. And this fear that the fellows were somehow trying to stop this from happening. And that worry rushes over me, but I try and push it down because I know that this is what I wanted, and the fellows have to want this too.
Khorek, you watch as Loy strikes the flint. Sparks land, some of them on the pens, igniting them. Some of the sparks singe at your flesh, and you watch as the powder ignites, and then ignites the threads, and they start to burn at different intervals, different speeds. And you can see the face under Loy's helmet observing these eyes. What color did you say? What were the eyes?
Bright blue, like super unnerving blue.
Unnerving blue eyes, which is quite the unnatural color for Khorek. And they're reading the flames as they burn these threads, and then eventually the threads release the tension and burn away. Loy, you see that everything appears to be in order. These two Khorek seem to be in accordance with each other fairly well, and that the items you would need to complete the parcel, and the parcel is the word we're using for the bundle of elements that you will mold into a new Khorek. What you need to add to this is pretty typical stuff. The molding clay is kind of the binding. Dear listener, when they make children, they are literally molding them from the earth, from stone, from elements like gold and silver, metals like copper. And you realize that everything you need to balance this scale, you already have. This seems to be the most perfect match you've ever witnessed.
Oh.
But did I hear them?
No.
The fire burns out, and I stay quiet for a lot longer than probably, like, it's to the point where, like, you can feel, like, the power of the ritual or whatever's happening, and, you know, it can kind of, like, linger at the end. But I'm sitting and I'm just staring at the space where the cords used to be a little bit longer, more completely silently than probably feels comfortable, where you might feel that something is not... And I just kind of like get up and I will shuffle away from you. I don't say any words. And I'm just going to shuffle around my place and start to collect all of the things. Molding clay. There's like piles of rocks that I like have to dig through. I leave for a minute and I come back with like a handful of pebbles. Some of them shinier than others. I'm just making shit up, Jay. I don't know what, but like
you're doing great. You're doing
thanks.
Great.
And I
you need a piece of copper and a piece of tin. That's the only thing.
Yeah, the copper and the tin are in a chest that are against the wall. That's where I keep some of my more fine metals and like little jars of little things. And I arranged them all around, and I you two are both just sitting there with the pins still in your mineralis, and I pause for just another moment, and then I shake my head. I was going to say something, and then I don't, and I just walk up to you, and I pull out the pins, and I lay them in the case, and I snap it shut. And I say,
Congratulations. This should be very simple. Congratulations.
I like, just a moment. I'm like, I realize, I'm like searching your faces to see like what's and I realize that you're like expecting me to say something like wise or whatever, and I'm like,
I've never experienced this before. I don't know how to tell you this. It's perfect, and I don't know the thing about perfection. The thing about perfection is we can put all of these things together. We can have all of these things, and your mineralis, they will communicate with each other perfectly. There's no, everything seems so straightforward. I think we must prepare for a dangerous journey ahead, for the components to be so easy. The fellows, I just want to prepare you.
That's the balance, right?
We shall see.
If the minerals are simple, then the quest must be difficult.
At times, the quest is a part of it. Your own mineralis must be tested. Your metal. You understand?
We're ready to be tested. We've been tested already, and we can make it.
Yeah.
What do you need from us?
Khorek, what's the next step?
I've also been laying there, like suddenly realizing, like, oh, this is happening. Oh, it's like right now. And so that's why Khorek is unusually quiet and just letting Loy guide the way on this a bit. But hearing that it's perfect, hearing that we have what we need and we're ready to go, takes a deep breath and turns to Pim. When do we go? And looks at Loy.
Now.
We're ready. Let's go.
And I stand up, help Pim up.
Where are we going?
We're going to the shrine of Hanai.
Yes.
I reach back in my bag of things and I take out a map.
Khorek pulls out a map, and for the listeners, you can access this map in the show notes. There will be a link in the show notes to get you the map. It is a hex map with several different points of interest. A river is running from the southeast to the northwest, but it is a map of the cave system that the Khorek are living in. In the bottom right corner is the hex that contains the village that you're all coming from. And you are currently in the hex to the immediate left.
Across the river.
Mm-hmm.
The way that I have this hex map set up is that if you go top to bottom, it's A, B, C, D, and then just do the numbers straight across. So A 1 through 5, B 1 through 6, so on and so forth. Is everybody clear about that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're in D5.
D5, exactly. So you all are in D5. The shrine to Hanai, who is the god of balance, the seventh fellow that balances the others out, is the hex immediately west in D4. The caverns of the eternal burn, where you will need to go to once you have your parcel prepared, is the furthest west in D1. So once you get in Khorek, I believe you desire this blessing of balance at the shrine. Khorek is wanting this parcel to be blessed at the Hanai temple before continuing on. And so even looking at the map, it seems like a pretty straightforward trip.
Just so I'm clear, we need to go. So right to the west, it's called the what? The Shrine of
Hanai.
That's the Shrine of Hanai. So we need to go there first. Then we need to go to the Eternal
Burn.
Burn?
Caverns of the Eternal Burn.
Okay.
Yeah.
And is the Caverns of the Eternal Burn, and that's where we would make the child?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's the quest.
All right. We head west.
Moving into a new hex is half a burn. And for those listening at home, a burn is what we call a day because the Khorek don't have a sun. They go by burns, which is the time in which a Khorek's body is burning. I was going to say like calories or fuel. It's when they're active. And when their body starts to slow down, they go into wane, which is like what we would call nighttime. And then when it's time to go to bed, that's what they call tend. They're sleeping to tend to their flame, and then they wake up reinvigorated the next burn. It's a lot of lingo, and I will put up a
glossary.
Glossary. I'll put up a glossary. I'll put up a glossary for some of these terms. But I think by the time we're at episode 12, it'll all sound really natural. Let's go.
Let's go.
All right. You still have maybe half a burn left.
Okay.
You could get there and maybe camp out at the shrine for the evening with your bedroll that everybody's packed.
I didn't pack a bedroll.
Why would you? They're useless.
Yeah.
And
I was tricked.
Softy.
We spent a long time before stream answering David's questions about the many things, really. And one of them was, is a bedroll useful, or should I use it to get more armor? He should have got the bedroll. It was a good idea. But for everybody else,
Yeah.
nothing.
Well, I'm glad you want my character to be comfortable. Because they will be.
I like it.
I'm nobility.
I
I want comfort. Yeah,
Khorek brought a bedroll.
I brought a bedroll.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
care. I sleep on the stones.
Well, you wear
That's how
stones.
I
Might as well.
live my life. Yeah, I wear stones. I sleep on stones.
Yeah.
I am stone. What are you talking
You're
about?
of the stone.
I am stone. Yeah.
Literally
Turn-
stones.
Turning to
Yeah.
stone.
All right. Would you all like to go to the next hex?
Yeah.
Do you want to go to any of the other hexes first?
No,
A2,
We're just doing straight there?
A2.
I am on a high of like perfect match. Let's go. I want to go
Yeah.
to Hainai. I
Yeah.
need to talk to my fellow.
I will say I'm gonna grab like a couple of other things from like I'm bringing a bear trap. I have a bear trap, by the way.
You would.
I'm a trapper. I used to be a trapper.
Yeah.
That used to be my, that's my thing.
Our
I mean,
bears
there's no such thing
cannon.
as bears. There's no bears
Yeah,
down there. But
But
a-
bug trap. It's a bug trap. It's a bug
bug
trap.
trap.
That's what
Worm
it
bug
is.
trap.
Bug trap. Bug trap.
I like to use the word broad. Not like you're abroad, but like broad as a like dire wolf. Be a broad wolf.
Oh,
Like a large version of something would be a broad.
A broadworm.
so like a broad worm,
Broad worm,
broad
broad
centipede,
cricket.
Broad worms exist.
broad worm.
Broad
Okay.
grasshoppers.
Yeah, underground.
Broad hoppers.
Broad
hoppers.
hoppers, since we don't know
Yeah.
grass.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, there's no grass.
Uh,
That's just I don't know why. I just thought it'd be kind of cool. I didn't want to do dire everything, so I was like,
I like
what's
it.
something else I can say? And I don't know. I came up with broad, and I was like, I think that's funny.
especially because there's no such thing as broads in this world.
No broads.
It also traps broads, but I don't know what those are.
Dear listener, Khorek, as you can tell, because they mold their children from pieces of them, they don't have gender. What would that even mean to them? All right. When you go into a hex, we're gonna roll a die to see if you all get a random encounter. Gail,
D6.
can you roll a D4?
D4. That is a 4. No juice.
Just kidding. All rolls are random encounters.
This is just the
kidding.
easiest one. Or the hardest one. Something.
You all travel westward. It's a slow go, perhaps maybe even a little bit slower because Loy is delicate, and this is the second half of the day, and they've already been splashed with water,
So cold.
and they are maybe struggling a little bit. It takes a little bit longer.
Okay.
But you all your way to the shrine of Hainai. This holy site is said to have been one of the earliest shrines built in tribute to Hay. Hay, unlike the other gods, was a Khorek. They ascended to godhood, to, as we refer to them, the Fellows. The building itself is a circular building, which is the most symmetrical of shapes. And many Khorek have been said to bring their parcel here for the blessing of balance. You walk into the shrine, long journey, and you see in the room this large scale made of copper. And there's these large copper saucers hooked onto chain, creating the scale. And on one side of the scale are these palm-sized flat rocks. And each one of these rocks bears the symbol of one of the fellows. And they are all on one side of the scale. And it is up to you all to take your parcel, the elements that you have acquired, minus your mineralis, because that's the last thing you're going to do, and place it on the scale for the blessing. Strangely enough, the scale, as is already balanced. There is nothing on the left-hand side. The saucer is empty, and yet the scales are perfectly even.
I kind of stand in reverence, just looking at it for a minute, again, very quietly. Much more quiet, again, Pim, than maybe you're used to. And I turn to Loy. Yeah, I hold out my hands. Are we ready?
I have all of the materials that I bound up in a little a running away knapsack style sort of situation, and I roll them down off of my shoulder and I set them in your hands.
I grab Pim's arm and kind of hold out the parcel for them to help me carry it, kind of more symbolically than out of a horrific need for assistance, and again, wrap my arm through theirs and approach the empty scale. And as I look at it, I take one last kind of look, thinking about, or trying to, because honestly, Khorek is just not that bright. It's not dumb, but not bright. What does it mean that all of the fellows are equal to nothing? But if I put something here, that must also be equal to the fellows too, right? So I kind of scrunch my face up, trying to figure that out for a second, and then decide not to care anymore, and smile at Pim to place it on the scale.
You place the parcel on the scale, and you take a step back, and the scale shakes. The chains that hold these saucers sway, and you see them shake a little bit more until the right-hand side, the side with the stones of the fellows, drops to the floor, and the parcel that you've set raises to the top.
Pim looks around very confused. What does that mean?
It means we're missing something. Is it just us? And I kind of look at Loy.
From what I can tell, you are the only, your mineralis are totally, they're totally compatible. There's no reason why you shouldn't be able to.
And as you're trying to sputter out some kind of way of making sense of this, the entire room starts to shake.
Oh, this is not good.
You all have dealt with earthquakes. That's not a rarity. These things happen. And the room starts to shake. And you hear a voice booming, echoing as if coming from the very earth beneath your feet. And it says,
"You seek blessing for your kindling, but none shall you find, until you bring a sapphire gem to add to your bind. To the north is a ravaged mine, where these gems once bloomed. Bind one to your kindling, babe, or bring about your doom."
And the ground beneath your feet splits in half, and the shrine